Hey guys, it's David Mack here. Hello. Alright, I was gonna let you know a few things here, and the fact that, Jesus was right, so, yeah. I'm gonna show a few things here, and you're gonna be pretty amazed, alright? You are. So, think about the sun shining in its strength. His countenance was like the sun shining in its strength. Look at my face. Do I look like I have a countenance sun shining in its strength? Yes. Do you see my feet? Does it look like they're fine brass refined in a furnace? You see that? Do you see that? Yeah. Crazy, right? Nothing crazy about it, to be honest with you. Because it's just how it is sometimes, But I'm not here to argue with you on this, alright? I looked up a picture on the internet, and it said fine brass meant bright. I don't know. But it meant something. I don't remember what, but it was like that right there. It looked like my feet. So try looking it up. I'm gonna put a picture on my YouTube later about it, and it's really gonna remind you what the heck it's talking about. All right. So I'm also gonna let you in on a few things. His head and hairs were white like wool. Is white as snow. White means clean. Means clean. Don't forget, Jesus was a lamb, so he wasn't old. He wasn't old. He was a child. His hair was not white. What that means is it's clean. And he's white as snow. His head and hairs are white as snow. Clean as snow and clean as wool. His feet are fine as in a furnace, like fine brass. So, I want you to look that up on the internet and look at all the pictures except for the pictures that say that Jesus was a black man. And you'll find something interesting. And then you really know what Jesus looked like. Yeah. And I want you to go and look up a video where it says, what did Jesus really look like? Look it up on the internet. The first picture that pops up is going to seem to be the same picture that looks exactly like my head right now. So, I want to be honest with you. You think I'm just telling you all this for no reason? Do you think you should actually learn something for once in your life? I think you should stop resisting the facts and start improving on the facts. Because the fact is, you're trying to prove a lie. You're trying to say that Jesus is in heaven. Well, let me tell you something about that story, alright? That was supposed to happen that way, but there's something more to this that hasn't happened. So, here's what I'm going to tell you, alright? Jesus was supposed to come back a second time, right? But it already came back. And that's right now. He's supposed to die a second time. Jesus already died once. Once. It says that in Matthew. Well, in Mark, it's the same thing all over again. David and boom, 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 and then Jesus again. Started from Abraham, went all the way to Jesus. Do you see now? Do you see? Now you understand. Okay? So what I'm trying to get you to understand here is that Jesus was supposed to die a second time. But that's not going to happen because we already have everything we need. So we don't need a savior, we don't need a sacrifice anymore. Therefore, we can't have life in heaven. We can't. Because people are going to continue to believe that Jesus is in heaven. You think Jesus is never going to leave heaven and be on earth again? No, you can't leave heaven unless you're a spirit. And nobody will be able to see you if you're a spirit. But as far as I'm concerned, that hasn't happened yet. So where's this Jesus at that everybody talks about? He's definitely not coming. I wonder why that is. Right in front of you? In this video? Like, are you really that dumb? Like, you go off looking for a scavenger hunt looking for Jesus. You go on off a wild goose chase trying to look for Jesus. And he's right in front of you. I gotta go. Bye. Alright guys, I'm back. So, as I was saying, sun shining in strength, feet like fine brass, hair like wool, hair like snow, white as snow. You know all that. So, let's get deeper, alright? He had no beauty or majesty to attract us to him. He was despised and hated by men, who men turned their faces from. Alright, so Satan was the most beautiful man that ever lived. Beautiful. But somebody who was not as beautiful as Satan, who happened to be God's son. Well, at least that's what everybody thinks he is. Right? That's what the Jews thought he was. They weren't assuming that he had no beauty or majesty to attract us to him. They were assuming that he had less beauty than Satan. But he had no beauty for us to attract us to him. That was only accountable whenever when he had grown a beard. When he had a mustache and a beard. That's when he had no beauty or majesty. Because as soon as all that happened, he had no beauty or majesty to attract us to him anymore. But I think the Jews were just saying that just to mock Jesus in the first place. So, but that's what it says, right? He had no beauty or majesty to attract us to him. Let me tell you something a little bit about that, alright? So, Jesus. Think about Jesus, alright? Let's take this hat off. Do I look like I have majesty? A little bit. Yes, a little bit. But there's something really, really wrong with this picture, alright? So, I'm going to skip on to the next video. I'm going to put this video all together through it whenever I need to. And I'm going to go ahead and skip to the screen thing. So, yeah, here we go. Hey, guys. I was going to let you in on a little something here. Okay. So, Jesus had no beauty or majesty to attract us to him. So, I'm going to go ahead and skip to that point here, right? So, what did Jesus really look like, right? He had no beauty or majesty to attract us to him. Alright, so I'm going to look up Isaiah 53. Isaiah 53. Alright. Okay. Alright. Here we go. This is the forbidden chapter. Alright. This chapter was not found in the Jewish Bible. Alright. So, when I read this, I really understood it. Because it sounded like it was about me. So, yeah. He had no beauty or majesty to attract us to him. Nothing in his appearance that we should desire him. Which means that goes along with despised and rejected. That means he acted just like me, like I did at Brookshire's today. Nobody desired me. Some people did, but I had no appearance for somebody to desire me. You know what that means? That's what that means. Period. But they didn't have hats back in the day. Jesus did not wear a hat. So if I took my hat off like I just showed you, you would see that I have no appearance that somebody should desire me. Does it? Does it not? Does it? Alright, I'm going to look up majestic people real quick. And then I'm really going to see something, alright? Majestic people. Majestic people. Alright, people. Majestic people. Alright, majestic looking people. Alright, so I'm not majestic. Do I look majestic? No, truthfully and honestly, I do not look majestic. No. No. In fact, girls hate me. Girls would not even want to be around me than anything. Like, no girl would want to be with me. Because there's nothing majestic or beautiful about me. And that's why, okay? It wasn't necessarily talking just about his appearance. It was also talking about it's also talking about other things too. You know what I mean? So if I go back to Isaiah 53, oops, one sec. Alright, I should have went, never mind, let's go here. Let's go to this one. Alright, so I'm going to go to this one right here. Who has believed our report and who has on the Lord be revealed? We will grow up before him as a tender plant and as a root out of dry ground. He has no form nor comeliness. And when we shall see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him. He had no form or comeliness. That means he was born as a sinner. I mean, he was not born a sinner. Oh yeah, he was not born a sinner. He was born without fault. But he's gonna be a tightwad. He's gonna be a really, really funny person. Really, he's gonna seem like an idiot to people. But he's gonna grow up, and he's gonna do all this different stuff. And here's what he does. He was despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. I'm very acquainted with grief. You can tell I am. And we hid it as our faces from him. He was despised, and we esteemed him not. Surely he hath borne our griefs and carried our sorrows, yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of God, and afflicted. So this was talking about Jesus, alright? This is talking about 2,000 years ago, alright? Also, the things that come before that are talking about now. Alright? So, yet we did esteem him stricken and smitten of God and afflicted. That was Jesus 2,000 years ago. We did. That's past tense. We did. But he was wounded for our transgressions. This is talking about now. But he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. This is talking about now. All we like sheep have gone astray. This means that they turned their way of Jesus Christ. They rejected him. They didn't know him 2,000 years later after he came. So, all we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned everyone to his own way. Alright, so this means my way. I'm having a different way. I'm having my own way of doing things. I'm not having the same way I did 2,000 years ago. I'm having my own way. And the Lord hath laid on him the iniquity of us all. He was oppressed, and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth, yet he is brought like a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before shears is dumb. So he opened. See, that hasn't happened yet. He was taken from prison and from judgment. And who shall declare his generation? For he was cut off from the land of the living. For the transgression of my people he was stricken. For he was cut off from the land of the living. So he was dead, basically. And he made his grave with the wicked and with the rich in his death, because he had done no violence. So what is violence, right? Blood, shedding blood, and all that. That's violence. I've hit people. I've done those things, but I wasn't violent because I didn't shed any blood. So I have done no violence whatsoever. Now Jesus, however, he did hit people. He didn't cause violence. Hit people with whips just so he could just to stop them from selling sheep and goats and stuff, making God's temple a marketplace. That is so stupid. I don't know why they would even do that. That's God's temple. I freaking hate that. That is a holy temple. It should never be like that, ever. It shouldn't even be like that right now, but I'm sure it is. I'm sure dang well it is right now. I'm sure it's a marketplace right now. Probably all over Jerusalem is a marketplace. Oh, but they're gonna get it. They're gonna get it alright. They're gonna get their judgment. Yes, they will. He was taken from prison and from judgment. And who shall declare his generation? For the transgression of my people he was stricken, and he made his grave with the wicked and with the rich his death, because he had done no violence, nor was any deceit in his mouth. So deceit means to deceive, to make a lie, to deceive somebody. Alright. So I make all these videos saying whatever I'm saying now. I'm not necessarily saying that I'm lying or I'm telling the truth. I'm not saying I'm telling the truth, and I'm not saying that I'm lying. This is strictly my beliefs. This is an opinion. This is not called a lie. Alright? You're not going to like my opinions. You're not. But you're also not going to like the truth. And you're not going to like the lie. It seems like nobody likes anything. But you know what? Sometimes things are obvious. Alright? Because he had done no violence, neither was any deceit in his mouth, yet it pleased the Lord to bruise him. He hath put him to grief. when thou shalt make his soul an offering for sin. He shall see his seed. Did Jesus see it? When did Jesus see his seed? It doesn't say. Does it? No, it doesn't. Oh gosh. Jesus, you want to know what? Jesus did see his seed 2,000 years ago. He did. But now he wouldn't have. If he were to come back, you wouldn't have saw his seed. But he did 2,000 years ago. That's why he's so perfect. And that's why he did the things he did. He shall make his soul an offering for sin. He shall prolong his days, and the pleasure of the Lord shall prosper in his hand. Okay. He shall see the travail of his son. He shall be satisfied. By his knowledge shall my righteous servant justify many, for he shall bear their iniquities. Therefore will I divide him a portion with the great, and he shall divide the spoil with the strong, because he hath poured out his soul unto death. And he was numbered with the transgressors, and he bare the sin of many, and made intercession for the transgressors. Now, you know what's strange about that? This isn't necessarily talking about Jesus doing miracles and doing all these different miracles. Nothing, no. It's talk about miracles. No, it doesn't. It's talking about now. Alright? As far as I'm concerned, all the videos I've seen that how Jesus actually died, is they wanted him to do miracles. So he died. But does this say that? No, he doesn't. No, it does not. This does not say that. Who hath believed our report? You don't believe the report. You don't believe it. This is talking about 2,000 years later after Jesus was there. He's not going to come back in the clouds. No, he isn't. Nope. This right here is right. Alright? I don't know what John wrote, but it's not it. That's not it. Jesus was a Jew, right? He was a Jew. So he followed the Old Testament. He followed this right here. He didn't follow the New Testament. No, he didn't. He followed what his ancestors did. So, yeah. Heck, that might just come later on, but, you know. But this has not happened yet. Has not happened. No, it has not. Jesus was never sorrowful. He actually never even expected all this to happen. Actually, he knew all this was going to happen. He had nothing to be sorrowful about. But I'm acquainted with grief right now. It's actually right there in front of you. I'm acquainted with grief. So why would Jesus be acquainted with grief? Because he's going to think he did something wrong, but he didn't. Yeah. So when he was despised and rejected by men, they turned their faces, and we hid our faces from him. Yeah. So what does this mean? All right. Now you have a dang clue. You are all idiots. Y'all believe in this Jesus stuff, but you don't believe in anything. You don't believe in what the truth is. You're too busy reading the New Testament that probably Paul the Apostle actually changed just to benefit him. So, they were all apostles of Jesus Christ, right? Yeah, they were all apostles. This is all mixed up here. I think most of the New Testament has been changed just to better itself, So, Jesus never had anything to grieve over. In fact, even if he was grieving, he'd be called David. David was a grieving person. So, yeah. Let me tell you something. Jesus had nothing to be grievous about. In fact, he never even had any sign of having grief. Not in all the not all the movies that I actually seen. I've never seen him have any sign of grief. So, I never heard him have pity on himself. No. That's grief. Pity is grief. You have pity on yourself. You're grieving. I'm grieving right now. So, but I keep looking at this and I'm just dwelling in it. I can't stop. It's horrible. So yeah, I'm done reading this. I gotta go, and I just hope that one day you'll understand, because one of these days you'll believe. One of these days you'll understand. But I want you to keep notice. You're gonna continue to believe what's wrong. You're not ever gonna believe what's right. Like, the dumbest thing that anybody could ever do is pretend like they don't know anything. Alright? You can pretend like you know something, but you don't. You don't know anything. So, I gotta go. Bye-bye.